is a workshop by Celonis. It's by turning data into process insights. And for that, we have Pratiksha and Leopold from the Celonis. So it closely connects on to how we all derive insights from data. Like a lot of data was shown to us in the previous session also. A lot of statistics, a lot of statistical data we could derive information from. The data that all of you will be going through to work on are exciting case challenges. And for this case, we bring you the best of the best, our dear global partner, Celonis, who are the superstars of the execution management systems. And their academic alliance connects academia to leaders, researchers, students, companies, and experts around the world. So representing Celonis all the way from Germany, we have Pratiksha and Leopold to share with us on how we can turn data into process insights. So if you can please have them on the spotlight, we can start the session. We're happy to have you. The stage is yours.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for your warm welcome. I will quickly share my screen and then we can start. So you should be all able to see my screen now. I hope it works. And yeah, then I will hand over to Pratiksha.
Hi, everyone. We are really excited to be here presenting you with how turning data into process insights. It's really a good honor to be giving this workshop to young and budding minds. So today is about the future of innovation and leadership. And our team from Celonis is here to share with you the future of management, operation, analytics through the lens of powerful story of youth, the industry leadership, as well as sustainability. We have all experienced ordering something online, had it been delivered to us, which is a core business process, or more importantly, for the society like vaccine distribution, sustainability process, like reducing carbon dioxide emissions, food waste. When we have a total transparency on these important processes, we can make best of decisions to deliver the best when it comes to operation and process excellence. Luckily, we are in a time where data is collected everywhere, but often it is scattered and messy and it's telling an incomplete story. What if we could synthesize our data and translate all of these scattered and meaningless information into something very clear and powerful for our organizations and our societies? Whether we like it or not, process govern every inch and part and parcel of our lives. Let it be personal, professional, and also academic. They are also the greatest lever we have. Luckily, Celonis has discovered a way how to pull this lever. So from your previous workshop with the World Economic Forum, let's say that you have obtained data available regarding one of the most important issues, let's say like COVID vaccination. Now you would like to analyze this bottlenecks in the process, improve the system, and probably even reduce delay in the vaccination supply. Here's what we did. We at Celonis used execution management system to identify these bottlenecks restrictions for the end-to-end chain of global operations, where these kind of delay could be also slowing down the distribution and also administration of COVID vaccinations around the world. More importantly, besides creating much needed transparency, Celonis also offered the possibility to take immediate action for contacting specific vaccination centers and so on. By doing so, we connected all these stakeholders like vaccine manufacturers, suppliers, Ministry of Health, and vaccination centers. Hi, Leopold.
Next slide, sorry.
Yes, next slide. So I'm Pratiksha, and with me is Leopold, and we are from the Academic Alliance from Celonis. Today, we'll be giving you a workshop regarding how you can explore data-driven leadership and innovation into the future of work. We will also be giving you insights on how data is turned into process insights. And you'll also get an opportunity to have a learn hands-on on a resource for this, your own innovation challenge as well. So next, we have a bit.ly link over here with a QR code. So we have created a link for you all as a team. You can access this QR code and also this bit.ly link, which I will share in the chat box. You need this for your innovation challenge, and later we will be conducting a workshop where we'll be giving a demo where you can also have a hands-on experience. And we'll also be having some kind of a interactive session where you'll be using this powerful process mining tool for your excellence. We'll give you a couple of minutes time for you to just join in and set up your profile, and we can go on from there. Please use your university or isec.net email address or your academic email address to enroll in this platform. And so such a way that you can join the team and you can work hands-on on this platform as well. All right. So if you do wish to possibly use this license for future, we also have one other link. The next. Okay, Leopold, can you go to the next one?
So then we will start. Yeah. Just a moment. Perfect.
Yeah, we have a link over here, which is an academic sign-up link. After this workshop, and if you do think that you want this license for your own, you can also use this link to create your own address, which is outside the teams, where you can create your own workspace and try out data for yourself. So that is also put into the chat box for your own reference. And with this, I give it to Leopold to start up with the presentation.
Thank you very much, Pratiksha, for your introduction and handing over to me. So yeah, we will now talk a little bit about how Celonis did come up with an idea that turned a small startup into a decacorn, a global company. And we will share our story of leadership with you now. So I have here quite an interesting quote, which says that only 12% of the 1955 companies in the Fortune 500 list are still Fortune 500 companies now in 2021. So in other words, only 60 companies from the Fortune 500 of 1955 have survived and stayed marketable. Means that 88% of all companies of the Fortune 500 are either bankrupt or were sold or don't belong to the Fortune 500 anymore. So what does this actually say to us? It's a very strong sign for the importance of innovation and technology. There's a dynamic fluctuation speeded up in today's hyper-competitive global economy. So that says that companies have to go with the time. They have to trust in new technologies and data-driven approaches, and they have to be open for digital changes and transformation. And we from Celonis, we think that process mining can help companies to stay marketable and to go with the time and to still belong to the Fortune 500 in maybe 60 years. So our story of leadership. You can here see our three founders from Celonis, and they have quite an impressive story of leadership to share with you guys. So they are very young, and before they founded Celonis, they were actually all students studying at the Technical University of Munich. And then they had a very nice and new idea And they followed their idea and founded Celonis in 2011. And now Celonis is a decacorn with a valuation of over 11 billion US dollars. But how did this all start? So those three guys, as already mentioned, they were students, and they had a student project for the Bayerische Rundfunk, which is a television provider here in Germany. And they were asked to take a look at the internal IT ticketing system and reduce the time it takes to solve these IT problems they had internally at the Bayerischen Rundfunk. So I guess all of you know the internal IT ticketing system. It basically is like if you're working in a company and you have a problem with your laptop or your printer on your floor, you just send an email to the internal IT and ask them to solve your problem. And most of the times you get like a notification that your problem was received, and you receive a ticket number, and then they will solve your problem within a few days. But most of the time it takes quite a long time to solve these problems. So those three guys now were asked to reduce the time it takes to solve this problem. But how did they do this? So they had a few ideas how to approach this problem. First of all, they looked at process documentation. Yeah, they looked how the process was conducted in the past. They looked how long it took for the internal IT to solve such problems. But with this technique, you can only see what happened in the past. So you're not able to do any amendments anymore or to change it. So this wasn't very effective for them to solve the problem. Then they conducted manual investigations. They thought like, okay, we can maybe take some typical consulting approaches like SWOT analysis and conduct expert interviews, talk with people from the respective departments and try to solve the problem with manual and time-consuming investigations. But they realized that this wasn't effective either. So they then took a look at data. They wanted to find and analyze important data. So they defined KPIs, which in this case may be the throughput time of an internal ticket. They monitored the KPIs over a sequence of time, and they analyzed data from processes. They were on the right track with this approach, and looking at data was quite a nice idea to solve the problem. But the problem is that they had such enormous amounts of data that they couldn't handle it. It was like too much to analyze it manually. So what they then did is they went to the library, and by mistake, they found a research paper which was about process mining. And it was completely new to all of them, but they took a look at it and were very interested in it. And finally, they managed to get full transparency and visibility in the processes and solve the problem of long throughput times in the internal IT ticketing system by using process mining. But no company ever before had programmed a software which focuses on process mining and processes, efficient processes. So they were the very first three guys, doing process mining and helping companies to improve their efficiency and reduce operational costs. So I have some facts and figures. So what Celonis, just to wrap it up once more, does is we help companies to improve their processes. And we are doing this by analytics, evaluation, and corrective actions. So we transform data and processes into valuable experiences for the business user. We are the clear market leader in process mining, and I have some facts and figures which are quite interesting in regard of our growth. So we have an annual growth of over 100%. We already have 200 implementations of our software at renowned and large companies. Our annual returning revenue is around $200 million. And we now have, I think this is an old number from last month, we now are, I think, around 2,500 employees, so which is also a sign of our growth strategy. Everywhere where processes occur and are being digitally captured, you can use process mining. So you can here see our cross-industry customer base we have, which is going from manufacturing companies to telecommunication companies to finance, tech finance companies, or customer retail and wholesale companies. So everywhere where processes occur and are stored digitally, you can use process mining and optimize your business and your processes. And what is quite impressive on this slide is that you actually think that all those companies, they are very renowned and they are appearing in the market for such a long time. You may think that they have such a good knowledge about their business and their processes, and they are always reducing costs. But no, they actually have some bottlenecks in their processes and are still saving operational costs by introducing process mining and our execution management system. I think that's always quite impressive when you see all those names of the large companies here, but they still decrease operational costs by doing process mining. But what is process mining? I will now go a little bit more into detail and share with you the importance of process mining and the theoretical background. So I have a quite nice quote here for you from the New Yorker, which says that the world is filled with product companies. Amazon is a process company. So what does this mean? Actually, Amazon isn't famous for selling, I don't know, shoes or basketballs to you. Amazon is famous for delivering a value to the customer, which is so impressive and new. You as a customer, you can go on Amazon and you can buy something, and within the next day it is delivered to you, and you can pay online without any issues or problems. So Amazon isn't a product company which is selling basketballs. Amazon is much more a process company. So there are a few examples of companies which focus on perfect processes and are delivering processes to the customer as a value and not the products. For example, Google, Amazon, Uber, they all do this, and they are delivering such an enormous value to the customer just by having perfect processes. So you can here see the importance of structured and optimized processes is a key for successful business today. But I now talked a little bit about processes, and I think it's very important to share with you what actually a process is. So I'll start with a definition. A business process or business method is a collection of related structured activities or tasks that in a specific sequence produces a service or product. So processes are always serve a certain business goal and is basic element of the value chain. The business world. We will now go a little bit further, and I will explain to you the theoretical foundations of process mining. So basically, process mining is a relatively new research field. It is an interdisciplinary approach and connects the classical data analysis with process science. So it closes the gap between model-based process analytics and data-based analysis. And the person who first came up with process mining is the Professor van der Aalst from the TU Eindhoven. And he was the one who published the research paper, which was found by our three founders and used to build the software and our company. So basically what happens is that in your company, you have real world activities. You are running your machines, they are producing something, and all those real world activities within your company are being stored in information systems. And your information systems in your company are in constant exchange with your real world activities. Those information systems can be CRM systems, ERP systems, Salesforce, SAP, cloud services. all of those have the same, all of those softwares have the same goal. They store data digitally. And everywhere where data is stored digitally, we can use process mining. And how this works is as following. We are translating the information from the information systems into so-called event logs. So we are translating all the data that is being stored in your company in a language that can be used for process mining. And I will explain you afterwards what an event log is, but just for you, an event log is what we need to do process mining. And to get an event log, we have to translate the data from the information systems of the company in such event logs. And then with the help of algorithms, we can make a model, a digital twin of the processes in your company. So what are real world activities? Basically everywhere in the world where you are constantly living, an enormous amount of data, process-related data is being stored. So for example, if you do online payment, if you do online shopping, if you travel, everywhere you are collecting a huge amount of data. And this data you collect is called the digital footprint, which basically consists of, like a footprint. And what then happens is that you can, with the help of process mining, you can understand how your processes are really, really happening and are really be carried out. So you can see where processes are inefficient and where bottlenecks occur. And you can always follow the optimum process now. So what is new with process mining is that the decisions of the management, they're not based on assumptions anymore. They are based on data-based evidence. So they know how the processes run, and then they can tackle the problems, the inefficiencies they see within their processes. So this is something which is delivering the value to the business user. So I already talked about event logs, and I brought here a exemplary event log, how it could like after the translation of the information systems in your company. So you can here see, for example, you have 5 columns, and at minimum, we need 3 columns. And those 3 columns should contain a case ID, which might be an order number. For example, you can there see the order number 10001. You need an activity name. So what happened at a specific activity? And you need a timestamp. We here also have the user who is in charge of this activity and the quantity. So this is how an event log looks like after the transformation. And this is the basis for doing process mining. So now I talked about process mining, and you learned that with the help of process mining, you can visualize your processes and turn your real world activities into a digital twin, which is showing you exactly how the processes within your company are being executed. But this is only one step of the Celonis service we are offering with our software. Our Celonis execution management system is much more than only visualizing processes and showing you how it's running. So you can here see the real-time data at the bottom. So we are connecting our software to the real-time data in your company, and the data is running into our software. And the data can be used from Salesforce, Oracle, Snowflake, SAP. We are connecting nearly every software you are using or every information system you are using in your company. And the data is running constantly into the software. And with the help of the core mining engine, we are doing the visualization of the processes. The automation engine then helps you as a business user to give you an alert when you aren't performing efficiently. So if you are deviating from the standard process, which is the most efficient one, the automation engine would give an alert. I see that there's a hand which raised. Is there a question or? No? Okay. Then I will. If there's a question, just let me know. So the automation engine gives the business user an alert when he's deviating from the standard and most efficient process. And those two engines, the core mining engine and the automation engine, jointly are relevant for the execution instruments and the execution applications. So you as a business user, you can then, with the execution instruments, directly deep dive into the bottlenecks in your processes and amend them. You can directly click on a few buttons and directly change the bottleneck that is occurring in your processes and make it efficient again and make it super fluid. You can even build your instruments on your own in the Celonis Studio. So maybe there's something we don't have a pre-built application for. Then you can build this on your own in the Celonis Studio very easily. And yeah, directly tackle the issue you have in your process and make it super efficient again. So this is the basics of process mining and our Celonis execution management system. And I will now hand over to Pratiksha again.
Thank you, Leo. And this was a very good insight. So we covered why process mining is important. But let's think even bigger. What affects us all? Instead of thinking just ourselves and our leaderships, how can we lead the community? The answer is a sustainable change. Next slide, please. Our values becomes visible in our actions and in our products. When we think beyond the traditional business KPIs, we also have a unique opportunity to deliver superior values for our planet and our society. By improving our execution capacity or the ratio of output to input, we significantly reduce waste in all processes. We find unnecessary materials, inventories, production waste, emissions, wasted time, and missed opportunities. What saves cost is that we can invest these saved costs into sustainable solutions. We can create more output with less resource and therefore create a competitive advantage. Next slide, please. So with Celonis EMS, we find the waste transparency throughout the waste chain, throughout the value chain, thereby reducing the waste. We also continuously monitor the process, thereby reducing carbon emissions and reducing the carbon dioxide emissions across operations. And also with Celonis EMS, we can also monitor the suppliers who are supplying to us, thereby having a sustainable supplier as well with every purchase decision that we make. So what we can do right now is that we can have a quick demonstration of a pizza delivery emissions process. Next slide, please. Our execution management system allows us to see the impact of our process and decisions, not only through throughput times and cost, but also on emissions, waste, and the diversity of our suppliers. Now, what we are going to do is that we are going to have a hands-on experience. Let me share my screen. Let's go through a quick demo and you can have an interactive session on how the process mining Celonis EMS works. So let me share my screen. I hope this is visible for you all. Initially, when you log into your academic license and when you log into your Celonis workspace, this is how it will look like. And I will ask you to go and click on this process analytics over here. These has like 8 cases, which is already there. We have created a team just for this workshop. What we are going to discuss today is the pizza carbon emissions case. You can go ahead and click on the pizza carbon emissions case. And this is what we'll be giving you a demo on today. Leopold gave us an idea regarding Leopold gave us an idea regarding how the process itself looks like as a digital twin. So here we go, and this is how the process looks like. For an happy path, it starts with by ordering on phone. They start preparing pizza. A pizza is baked. Then you plan the route. The pizza is delivered. The pizza is sent away. arrives at the customer place, the customer makes the payment. But this is not how it always happens or it always has. So let's see a second variation of what can happen. The customer comes to the counter and the process starts and the process ends with a lesser steps. But we can go one variant ahead. And what happens when there is a mistake in the order that has been made? Here, when we go from hours to minutes, you can actually see in detail how much time is being wasted. In this case, around 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 to 19 minutes is wasted just by one mistake. So this is a loop that we can find as an inefficiency. There isn't just 9 variants. When you click on more, you can see that there are different variants. And to have a holistic view of what the entire process looks like with all the variants, I just drag and click on the entire variations over here. And when I zoom and see, it is not just one clear happy path, which is a complex system which the process is. We can go ahead and also deeply inspect each and every one of this singular variant and see where the bottleneck lies in each variant. So we have now found where the bottlenecks are, we have found the KPIs are, we have achieved many more improvements. What is the next step? As more and more customers and employees are becoming more and more environmental conscious, our pizzeria also wants to find out how much carbon dioxide they are getting emissions and with respect to how much they are delivering the pizza. This existing data set can be extended by some data points. Here, with respect to the distance that is traveled, the total weight of the goods that are being delivered, and also the mode of transport over here. Here you can see there is a steep difference between the carbon dioxide emission with respect to the mode of transport that is cycle, and also the mode of transport with respect to van. Let's go and take a deep dive analysis. Here, there are 2,000 cases that are there. And in this 2,000 cases, there's around 2.59 tons of carbon emissions that is taking place. And the contribution for this, one of the major contributors is the van that is being used. Let's go ahead and click on here. There has been a filter with respect to the transport, the district, the distance, and the size or the pizza order. Let me just click on the van that is over here and apply the filter. You can see that only 11% of the orders are being delivered by the van, and that itself contributes to around 1 ton of carbon emission. This 1 ton of carbon emission here itself, when you take a deep dive analysis, you can say that large pizzas are being delivered by vans, it's fine. But why are small and medium pizzas are also getting delivered by van? Let's add that into the mix as well. Let me click on the medium and small pizza, add that as a filter, and you can see that there is around 0.33 ton of carbon emissions just for the small and medium pizza. This can also be delivered by car or scooter instead of the van, because as we see here, the average delivery time is 24 minutes from the target 30 minutes time. There is an improvement of 6 minutes where you can take other modes of transport as well. So here we found a place where we can improve by switching our options from van to probably a car or a scooter with respect to what we choose. Another thing you can see is that these filters have been applied and they stay so that you can have a deep down analysis which reflects on all the tabs. Here, now I will go ahead and clear all this filter, and you can see that in real time, what the carbon emissions are taking place, that is being converted into total carbon emissions trees as an offset. So it means that with 2.59 ton of carbon we are getting emitted, that can be offset by planting 259 trees. We have also installed a carbon neutrality tracker, which tells us and which lets us monitor how much trees has to be planted. And in this case, let's say 20 trees has already been planted. There are remaining trees that should be planted by the community or by the business itself to have an offset of no net climatic impact. Celonis also has an automation tool, which we won't be diving deep inside today because of the limitation of time. But there is also a take action option, which allows you to take actions like, let's say, go ahead and it prompts you by giving you different options like where you can improve, which delivery has to be changed in decisions in favor of environment, and these insights can be communicated to the customers. With respect to this analysis, you can also decide about where you can manage the next branch, probably creating or opening a branch nearby a certain orders, thereby reducing the carbon footprint itself. This is a short demo. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to give you activity of sorts, like we'll point out 3 questions to you. You can have a hands-on experience. You can use your software to check out the answers. We'll give you 5 minutes. You can put out the answers inside the chat box. And then we can go together on how to approach or how to answer those questions using our tool. So the first question is, let me quickly share that as well for you. The first question here is, what is the total carbon emission and the number of pizzas that are ordered? Here you have the options for that. And the second question is, what percentage of cases is responsible for the most carbon dioxide emissions? And third one is, how many small and medium-sized pizzas are delivered in vans? You also have a bonus question regarding how in the starting I showed you there are different variants of the process that is happening, which is causing an inefficiency. I would like you to go to the 17th variant and check out and let us know what will the 17th variant is causing an inefficiency. Take a couple of minutes time and put your answers in the chat box. We will wait for a couple of minutes and then let's go through the answers together on how to answer all these questions inside the demo itself.
Okay, so we have one answer in the chat. We'll discuss it after the time. Okay, 3 answers in the chat. All right, let's see who does the bonus question.
some of you have answered all 3 of the questions. Do you want to try the bonus question? Like, what is the detour or what is the inefficiency that is causing in the 15th variant? Remember how we went on to the second tab and try to go through the process. There, it would be deviating from the first variant's path or something that is different. So what's the detour which is happening in the 17th variant? You can check that out as well.
I think there are some answers coming for the bonus question. Do we want to dive into the software and maybe find it out what is happening in the 17th variant and also discuss the other questions? You're muted, Pratiksha.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. So let's quickly go into the software and let's try answering all these questions. Let me start sharing my screen once again. Okay, so the first question being, what is the total carbon emissions and the number of pizza orders? So the answer is, here you can find the total number of cases, which is near to 2000, which is, so the number of orders would be 1,998. And the total number of carbon emissions is right over here, 2.59 tons. See, so the option is D, and congratulations to all of them who answered D. And the second question is, what percentage of cases is responsible for the most carbon dioxide emission? So here we went through and saw that van is responsible for the most carbon emission. And let's see what percentage of the orders is getting delivered by van. When you just go ahead and check out the pie chart, when you toggle over the transportation van, the percentage is 11% right over here. So you can see that the answer would be B, 11%. What percentage of cases is responsible for the most carbon emission? And third question is, how many small and medium pizzas are delivered in van? So what we are going to do is that, go ahead, add this filter by van. Again, go to small and medium. Add this filter. Oh, sorry. Back to that. Let me quickly select medium and small. Add that filter. And you can see the total number of cases as 105 cases of the 2000 cases. So the answer would be A, 105 cases for how many small and medium pizzas are delivered in van. And for the bonus question, what is a detour that is happening in the 17th variant that is causing an inefficiency in the process? Let's go to the process itself quickly. When you click on more over here, you can see that there are different processes that is there. Let's just click on the 17th variant alone, the 17th process. So the answer could be, one second, let me remove all this filter before that. Let's click on more and click on the 17th variant. Here you can see that call to the customer. Once you start preparing the pizza, you have to call the customer. So this is creating a loop which is delaying the process instead of getting all the order right at the first call. So this is an inefficiency that has been caused, or the loop that is being caused inside the 17th variant of the process. I hope this this insight is helpful for you. And also you can use this somehow in your innovation challenge to analyze the process. You can work through with your academic license, which is there in the second link that we have provided, where you can work individually. The first link was created especially for this interaction, and the second link you can go ahead, create an account for yourself and work on further things. And if you find process mining very interesting, you can go ahead and let me stop sharing my screen so Leo can share his. So these are the answers for you, for yourself. And if you can quickly go to the next slide.
Moment.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So if you're a student and if you would like to get yourself certified with regards to process mining, we have the online learnings and certifications that you can do, which is on the next slide. Then the next thing that you would be doing is that you can choose like what would be interesting to you. If you want to just go ahead and learn process mining on an execution level, you can go ahead and go with executive learning, or a business user more like gives you an overall output of the analysis. But for your challenge, I suggest you to go to analyst view, where it's not needed that you have to go through the entire 14 hours of learning, because for your innovation challenge, which is very nearby, you can just go ahead and choose the tracks which is more relevant to you, go into it, and you can check what would be interesting to you and learn which is relevant to your innovation challenge and work on it. You can sign it up from here. The next one. And once you're done with your innovation challenge, you can get yourself certified as a process miner, or you can get the process mining fundamental certification for students. Here you will be learning the theoretical foundations of process mining, how you can translate the data into actionable insights. You can create and refine target-oriented analysis. You can also apply process mining for different and various industries as well. You can also realize and sustain the business value identified with Solanas. It's a total duration of 20 hours, and you get a certified as a process mining fundamentals for this. And you can sign up to this with your academic email address, and we have a link right over here to just directly get and signed up with the process mining fundamentals for students as well. And if you do have any question answers, please raise your hands and we will try to answer as many of them as possible.
Perfect. So delegates can raise their hands and I'll let you speak. Okay, just a minute. All right, we have Vamsi. I'll let you, you can unmute the mic.
Hello all. Thank you for this wonderful session. And my question is like, how do you guys identify the bugs in the system? I mean, and how do you guys rectify it? That causes a serious issue, right, in the future if the bugs aren't identified.
Pratiksha, do you want to cover this question?
Sure. So we have an intensive team of solution managers. We have a development team who are always working on it. And we also have student projects like everything. We have dedicated solution managers for it, solution engineers for it. If it's related to a business value, we have dedicated support system for that, where we work on it on an everyday basis. And we have an extensive team of engineers who's working with Solanas and who are working every day to make this better and better. And your question, I just wanted to ask if you found a bug in the system and if you want to report it, or you're talking it with respect to the company as a whole itself.
No, like generally, like if you found a bug, how do you attempt to rectify it? So that was my question.
So usually if the external people find a bug, we report it, or the internal people find a bug, we report it to our team, and the engineers take away the solution and they rectify it immediately, if that's what you wanted to know.
Or maybe do you mean the bug in the process? So as a business user, if you see that you have a bug in your business processes, how you see it, or what is this the question?
Yeah, exactly, in the business process.
Okay, exactly. So basically what happens is that our Celonis execution management system gives the business user in the respective domain, in the respective department, an alert when he is deviating from the standard process. The standard process is predefined and is being compared with the processes, how they are executed really in real time in the company. And if there is a deviation between the optimum process and how it's being executed by your employees, you as a business user, you get an alert, and you can directly deep dive into the problem, into the bottleneck. And with our Celonis applications and instrument, you can access the software and the system and directly amend the problem you are having and the inefficiency you're focusing on. If this is answering your question.
Yeah, thanks.
No worries. Any other questions?
We have Ramana. Ramana, you can speak.
Hi guys, that was great. The software is really intuitive. I just wanted to know, I have two questions. My first question, I just wanted to know if the business comes up with an innovation in their process and they want to do things in a different way, and they want to try out something new, which is not supported by data, but they have an instinct about it. How do you support that?
So basically what we do is that we do implementations across all industries. And this is only possible by working closely together with the different companies and the industries. So for example, if there's a new customer like Lufthansa who wants to improve the processes on the land. So before the plane is taking off and they are having processes, they are like loading the luggage, loading the food into the plane, taking oil, all those processes Lufthansa has with their planes. We as Celonis, we take a look at those processes and those operations, and jointly together with the company, we are shaping the software to tackle their problems they have with their processes. And this is why we can offer our software to so many industries, because we work closely together with the industries and then perform or come up with the process, really taking a look at the industry, like for example Lufthansa and their planes.
Yeah, so the business process managers, their executives are generally they can customize the process, right?
Exactly. So we from Celonis can together with the business user customize our software and the process. And as already mentioned, with our Celonis execution management system, the business user can even in the Celonis Studio create applications by themselves, helping them to tackle the issues and run the processes efficiently. So this is very hands-on, very easy for the business user to there are there's no technical knowledge required or any programming skills. You can go into the studio and build the applications and directly tackle your inefficiencies and your problems in your company.
Sure. Yeah, that clears out my first question. And the second question I have is, you might have a clear data of what industries are using data process management usually and how much it has helped them. Can you share that a bit? Like, what is a major industry that is using this?
I think one industry which is for us of Celonis very important is the whole consulting industry. So we are helping consultants to perform or to do their work. And I think it's hard to outline in clear industry which is using process mining most, but As already mentioned, every industry can use it. And for example, Telekom, which is the German telecommunication or biggest telecommunication supplier, they implemented Celonis, and within the first month of implementation, they saved 80 million operational costs by implementing Celonis. And this is not only for Telekom, our telecommunication supplier. That's also happening for BMW, for retailers, for Coca-Cola and Heinz, and every company across all industries can save operational costs with Celonis. And I think it's hard to outline one industry which is using process mining most. But if I have to focus on one, I think it's the consulting companies, and maybe
Sure, guys. Yes. Thank you very much for answering my questions.
And also an interesting fact to share about Celonis is that you might have seen a challenge that has been put out, the 10 million challenge, where Celonis has challenged saying that if we can't find 10 million in your business, the 10 million of trapped business, like from the process mining or any kind of inefficiencies in your business, we will donate $10,000 to the charity of your choice, $100,000 actually, to the charity of your choice. So this is a challenge that we have put on to any kind of business that can use Celonis. So this would be something interesting to you to show that how Celonis, it's not one industry oriented or one business oriented, but holistically it's process oriented. So where process exists, you can use process mining to find bottlenecks and inefficiencies as a whole. So thank you for your time. I hope this session was insightful. Thank you, Leopold, for the wonderful answers that you have given and the insights that you have shared. And we are honored to be presenting this workshop with Isaac.
Thank you very much for having us.